Hey guys, BTR Plumbing here, and today I'm here with my 1939 Case H Deluxe toilet. I believe that is the name of this toilet, as that's what it is stamped underneath the tank lid, which I will show y'all. And before I start this video, I just wanted to give a big thanks to KDMC Plumbing for giving me this toilet. It is very much appreciated. One thing that's really cool about this toilet that you don't see on very many toilets is if you look inside the tank, go ahead and set this lid down carefully. Here's the Case logo. If you notice, there are no bolt holes, and actually this is a special flush valve. There's a metal bracket in there with the bolt that goes through it, and that's how the tank gets held on. And there's must be a jet flying over the house somewhere, but see, I do have it set to the water line. This flapper is not really designed for this type of flush valve, so it doesn't create a really good seal. So it does leak a little bit of water, but yeah, now that that jet has kind of gone over, y'all can see the bolt just peeks through the back of the porcelain and bolts on right there. And yes, it is leaking a little bit. And there is another Case logo. So, and then I will show y'all, actually before I flip this underneath or flip the tank lid over, this toilet is in really good shape. Obviously it is a little bit dirty. The only part that's damaged is, as y'all can tell, the tank lid is in very rough shape, but for the most part it is still intact, which is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over and show y'all what it shows, or what it says underneath. So this is what leads me to believe it's called the H Deluxe, because right here it says, if parts required, specify for model H Deluxe. And then right here it says Robinson and made in USA. So this is definitely a really cool toilet. I have a crane toilet that's similar to this, except it has two tank bolts. It doesn't have this weird design. I don't think this is the original handle, but it does look older. Maybe it's a reproduction of some sort. I really do not know, but new toilet handles don't really have this style design. So let me go ahead and get this tank lid back on, and I will give y'all some flushes. So this may end up being a longer video, just because this toilet is kind of let's see, I need to set my phone down for this. I do not want to drop this and break anything. But this toilet has a pretty big tank. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 gallons per flush. It's decently heavy too, but I also really like the design of this toilet, especially for being 1939. It's really cool to see the side-fed siphon jet channels. You don't really see that in very many antique toilets like this one. But enough talking. Here is a flush. Overall, has a pretty nice flush. The siphon isn't the strongest on this toilet. I don't know if that just has to do with the trapway design or the weird slotted siphon jet. And by slotted, I mean it's not a circle. It's literally just like a flat oval, if that makes sense. Hopefully y'all can see that. But now for the remainder of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the tank lid. That way I can tell when the tank is full. I'm not sitting here for like 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all up on my tripod. And this water supply for the refill tube, I ended up shoving a rock in there to slow down the flow rate, because this thing was putting out way too much water and it would just overfill the bowl and spill water all over the floor and make a big mess. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't really fill it all the way back up to the water line, but it still has plenty enough water in the bowl to get a proper flush. So let me go ahead and line this up, get it focused, and I will give you all another flush. Let's see, I want it to focus in on the trapway, but it doesn't really seem to want to do that. Come on now. All right, let me go ahead and just flush it and we'll see if it'll focus. Here we go. Looks like for the most part it stayed focused. Again, the siphon isn't really the greatest on this toilet. It seems pretty weak. I don't really know how this is gonna do performance-wise. I'm assuming it'll do okay. Personally, I probably wouldn't want this toilet in my house. One, it's not comfort height. Two, it's round and I prefer elongated. And three, this uses a lot of water, so that would not be good for the septic tanks, as it would probably fill it up a lot quicker. So, but other than that, there's no other real reasons why I wouldn't install this toilet, but parts, like reproduction parts, would probably be pretty hard or expensive to get for this toilet. So the tank is almost completely full. I'm gonna go ahead and lock my phone's focus. And here is a flush. See, that time it didn't even really siphon at the end. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this flapper, but it uses pretty much all the water in the tank. So, and if y'all are wondering why I have it set up here and not on the toilet stand, is because this thing has a giant extended horn underneath, and it actually would not fit the flange on my toilet stand back under there. So when I tried to set it up, the whole thing was like 3 inches up off the stand, and it just would not fit. So fortunately, I won't be able to film this on that setup, but pretty soon I'm gonna figure out a way to maybe like put some foam in here to clog this, or just hold the flapper, because I do not have a flush valve for this toilet. But the tank is just about full, and as y'all can see, the water line gets pretty close to the actual water line that's in the bowl, but it's not quite. But like I said, there's still enough water in there to get it to flush properly. So go ahead and focus my camera, and then we'll give y'all another flush. Here we go. See, that time it had a better siphon, but again, it was pretty weak. So overall, I definitely really like this toilet. It is definitely on the more rare side of fixtures. Again, other than that tank lid, this whole toilet is in honestly really good shape. Of course, it's gonna need some new tank parts, some new rubber gaskets underneath. But other than that, I don't think a toilet for this age could get much better unless it was new old stock. And there isn't even really much wax or anything underneath the bowl. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the tank fill up, put the lid back on, and I will give y'all one more flush. But and what's funny about this toilet is because there's only one bolt holding the tank in place, you could technically rotate the entire tank 360. So you could have the tank sideways, you could have it facing backwards, or it's honestly really interesting. And I'm kind of curious to know who came up with this idea. I don't know if there's a purpose for it or not, but other than that, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave all y'all's comments down below. And as always, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.